And sorry, there was a little interruption. I had emergency call on my phone while I was filming, so I hope I will be able to connect two videos. That was very unfortunate, but the worst case scenario, I will post two videos. Things happened. There was some kind of stabbing and they announced it as emergency in our area, even though it wasn't even in our province. So I guess they're looking for some criminal to catch. Anyway, things happen like this, but as an artist you have to focus on sometimes other things. Don't let bad events interfere with your life all the time. Try to balance your life. So I think I'm going to take a softer brush right now. So this softer brush is synthetic, but it's synthetic soft. I'm going to prepare for my hits on the flowers. So I'm going to use a cadmium yellow light and cadmium yellow dip. These will be to my major for these flowers. And also, of course, I will use yellow, ochre and white. And I will see how it goes, how much of which I need. So I will be adding as required. And I have to squeeze more titanium white with my white color. So these are the main ones. During this time my background will set a little and I may hit it with a little bit of more light where needed, but for now I'll just leave it as it is. So I always say I come back to my painting later, but to tell the truth, sometimes just not even needed. I look at it and I'm thinking I'm going to leave it as it is because I don't want to overwork it. So because overworking is one I know that I do a lot of that, so for me it's just better to leave it than overwork. So starting from the flowers closest to the light, just keep going with whatever petals I see the most distinct. Not all of them are equally important. So. And again, I'm mixing white with cadmium yellow dip. Cadmium yellow dip is a very good strong color. It might not be very good for breathing in a lot, but I guess some artists have to do it. Some artists prefer not to do it, and I understand that because obviously breathing cadmiums in closed room might not be as good. Maybe outside you can use it easier, but like on plain air. So I'm just squinting. Squinting helps a lot. Now I start understanding the shape also. Can be worked a little bit more. Like here, I overdid a little bit. Building my little golden balls. And where I see that green also, I add a little bit of that green only in some areas. So this one had very actually deep terra rosa color in here inside of this, so that's something that I don't want to lose. So very carefully. No better less than more, I guess the rule on this. And at the same time, while I'm doing this, I'm going through the background and kind of carving. I'll take a small brush for this, carving through this. Again, fingers always good tool when you want to wipe off the paint. So there is just a hint of that flower over there. I don't really see it that much. I'm going to do a little bit of cadmium yellow dip on top here. And then I'm going back to my main flower after this. So I just need to add a tiny bit of green in here. And then I can see that flower popping there because it has more kind of warm terra rosa type of color. I'm not going to put too much green in it, but I need this leaf. So this leaf still is a mixture of viridian and transparent red oxide. There is some lightness on the leaf that I see over there, so I'm going to mix some lighter green and just put it here, so that would be a good variation as well. And actually there is a little bit of stem seen there. Then again, working on the shapes around it. I kind of see that this flower is a little bit low, so I'm adding more darker. At the same time, I see the greenery in the middle of this one, so I may as well do it while I have paint on my... As I go around what I see, and if I have this paint already on the brush, why not to use it? Okay, so now I'm going to clean the brush and go to my main flower. That's very, like, kind of in the middle, so that's the middle of this flower, so that's where I'm going from. Start going from there. So the petals in the middle is a little small, and then as they go further, they're getting bigger. So I'm trying to make those petals wrong color, but yeah, I have to refresh this color. It has a little bit of greenery and a little bit of bright yellow in the middle, so I'm trying to capture that. It's kind of starting wilting a little, so some of the petals are really getting old. So at the same time, I just noticed some stuff on this one, so I'm going to do it this way. And because it's work in progress, so going back and forth. You will notice that it's much darker, this one. Not much, but you can see the hints. At the same time, this one. So I'm trying to watch. Can be squinted all the time, but trying to watch the difference in values between those flowers. So again, here I made it too big, so I'm going to wipe it. Still will go with my shadow color a little bit here. And a little bit on these flowers. Of course, it depends how much detail you're going to want to give to each flower. Just sometimes keeping right shapes is more important even than the detail, because if you have the right silhouette, I find, then you don't have to paint every detail. Like this one. Overdid on this one as well. That's the things that when you don't look at the flower for a while and then you go back to it, you kind of notice. I think this is a big chunk that I need to throw away. So that's my cadmium yellow light is finishing now, but I just wanted to get a little bit of brightness on this flower. Just a little bit lighter. And now I'm going to, again, to re-emphasize some shadows that I might have potentially lost in there, especially on the part that darker here. And I have overlapping, not overlapping, but it's under this flower, that they kind of connect with each other. I'm going to do this one. It's not as bright as I'm putting it, but I'm going to do the middle of this flower. And there is some brighter yellow, so kind of running off paint. But I'll see if I can finish this flower, and then I can squeeze more paint, cadmium yellow dip. So there are certain petals that hit by the light, but majority of them is not. So I'm going to mix more of that shadow color. Try to squint and do tiny bits of the light that I see. go straight from there and go to this flower, but again seems to be in the shade, but the light at the back, the light hits on some petals, so just do a little bit of those and then a little bit of petals on this flower. Again, it's at the back, but certain petals just very, very bright. I'll just paint what I see. And while I'm there, I'm going to put the stem, which is very distinct, and I think I can paint around these areas very, very carefully. So this shape needs a little bit of revising. There's some petals on this one not as bright. They're yellow, but they're not as like cadmium yellow lights. They're more cadmium yellow dip mixture, and the more not going to spend a lot of time and giving too much attention to this one because it's not my focal point, the same like the other flowers, because once you give indication. So the only thing that I didn't notice, I think there is a stem going, there's a one leaf going that I'm going to paint, give it more attention and paint. So I'm mixing some cadmium yellow deep and some chrome, green chrome, and some white. I'm just trying to, because the petals of this one cover actually they cover they have a lot of green in the shadow. Probably will paint over that one as well. And this one is too high. So I think majority of the flowers are done. So it will be a matter of going through each of them and trying to, so just a little bit more cast shadow from the jug, just going through them and trying to go through some detail. Squinting, and maybe I will walk away from it for a moment and then I come back and get more things in it, or maybe I'll just leave it as it is. So like whenever I say I walk away from it, I walk and I don't come back and it stays as it is. So I hope you learned something from this video, and I really apologize for interruption we had here. So I don't know if it was preserved both parts of video. I hope they were, and I hope you will be able to fix them together. If not, my son, I hope, will help me, but if not, I may have to make another video. That's what happens sometimes. You work on it and it's just suddenly get interrupted for different reasons. Okay, so this summer was very busy. I did some paintings, but not as much as I normally would do because of my little puppy. So once he grows a little, say the puppy or my health or something else, so hopefully I'll be able to do more. But it's work in progress. Hopefully I will learn how to make better videos as well. It's on my list of things, but I don't know that when that is going to happen. So I really need to squeeze more cadmium yellow light and do proper highlights on some petals, so that's what I'm going to do next. I don't know how long that video is going to be. I probably will do 2 parts just because I can see this video already going into 21 minutes, so it might be logical to do 2 parts. So a little bit of squinting and a little bit of, maybe I will be combining some areas together. So I have fresh paint here, so sometimes combining together is actually works better. That's what happens when you go into detail and then you can go back and start combining together the smallest areas and doing better. Going away from the detail, doing a better shape. So let's see if it works for me. I'm trying to squint because I really don't like when it starts getting too detailed and start losing the actual original intention. So the intention of these flowers is just, of this painting, to show those big fluffy balls, the texture of these flowers. So I hope that worked. At least a little bit, if not much. Look at these ones. I think I lost a little bit of shape, especially this one. A little bit of depth wouldn't hurt. A little bit of more depth, so I'm going to do a little bit of greener. Yeah, squinting helps. Squinting helps a lot with this generalizing the shapes. Now I'm going to do at the back one, so a little bit working on the silhouette as well. This golden green that I didn't even use. I hope a little bit. It's one of the good colors that you can use in flowers. It kind of has already green and yellow in it, and it can be probably made with mixtures, but if you have it, why not to use it? I know that Kathy Anderson and Daniel Keyes use it a lot. Daniel Keyes introduced it to us during the workshop. And since this time I keep it in my collection, but I don't use it that much for some reason. So I added a little bit of transparent oxide red, just to add a little bit of depth to this flower. As you can see, I'm slightly overworking it now. Or maybe I'm just not overworking it, but working it over again, I would say, kind of thing. Yeah, I think I lost some of that warmth I had in it, and that's where let me go back. Things like this happen. You can correct them, dry them when they get dry. That's one way to fix them. You can wipe them off completely. In my case, I just, because it's not a central flower, just try to bring it back to its original shape by squinting. So the two central petals were here that really catch the light. So, and then there were some petals here. They're still there. Just my eye already not there. My eye already somewhere else, obviously. And again, the background will help to slightly correct it. Maybe I'll use a different brush just to see if I can lay that warmth a little bit more here. And a little bit of this color, that green gold. So obviously I will work this flower a little, so just leave it as it is for now, and maybe come back to it later. Correcting the shape of this one a tiny bit. And adding a little bit of green gold for the depths to this one as well, because this one, green gold and terra rosa, also do interesting combination. If you add terra rosa, it adds a little bit of more warmth. So that's about it. That's about it. think I'm finishing with flowers. I may double check the pot, the jug. I may add just a little bit of light here where highlight is, just a little bit of reflective light from the window. Some little things here, some stuff reflects here as well, but not too much. So my handle will have a little bit of light, just a little. And I think I'm done for now. So hopefully this painting inspired you for something, and you learn something good, something new, or maybe just watching other artists inspires other artists. That's what I like doing. So I'll see you again on my channel, I hope, and happy painting everyone. Bye.